Some people believe that the cats and dogs, animals, are the reason for fleas, but as you see the hay bales there, the area that I live in lets the grass grow tall, and it's the 4th of July today. About a week ago they cut the grass and let it lay, and then I'll show you how they baled it. It's kind of like they sweep it up and then they run that machine over it and roll it up. They're attracted more to an opaque or white bowl, but I experimented some last year with the tin foil, over a glass plate, and it did just as well at attracting them. And then put in a light source over here in a dark room will get them in really quick. So let me find my light and let's see if there's anybody in there yet. See how the blue in there, all I did was squirt some Dawn dishwashing liquid into the white vinegar. And people in my first video asked if a pet could get into this. Basically, the smell of vinegar will ward off any pet. Too attracted to, I think, color and light. Because if I put my foot on the ground in here, let me put my hand on and I can feel them. Let me wipe them off into the bowl. We were doing really well when it was dry and 90 degrees and just getting a few fleas in the house, where with the rain they're just jumping into the house somehow, by hordes. So time to get out the flea catchers. It's a few days later and it's gonna start storming again. So that means that ants and things will start coming in the house again. Let's check on the bowls. It looks like I should have checked sooner. The one with the vinegar and Dawn is dry, and see all the fleas that it captured. Let me put my hand down. They're not jumping all over me, but that doesn't mean more won't come in. So I grabbed the wrong bottle of vinegar. I gotta go get the open one. For now, I'll put a little bit of water in here. And the borax is dry too. And as you can see, it didn't capture or kill as many fleas as the vinegar and Dawn did. And there is a flea there. So we still have a few fleas. Let me pour some more water in here. The heat that we had probably evaporated the water, but I'm going to add sugar to it, and that way it'll attract ants too, and we'll be able to get rid of the ants that come in from the rain along with the fleas. I'm just taking a couple of handfuls. Borax is actually like boron. It's something that's found in the ground, a natural element. And this right here, I don't think I would put this out openly with the animals in the house. I've never tested that way, but I do have it in a closed room. This one here, though, with the vinegar in it, I do put it out openly with the animals. The smell, I assume, is what keeps the cats and that away from it. I've kept the rest of the house vacuumed and the rest of the house cooled with the air conditioners. That may have attracted all the fleas in this room because the heat and humidity was higher in here. I only had some in the kitchen and it was easy to vacuum them up, and This has been probably the least bitten year ever of fleas by using this in this room like this under this light. Some people have asked, is Dawn the only one to use? For me, this is the only one I've ever bought and used because I've seen, that's when they had the oil spills, Dawn cleaned the wildlife and didn't harm them, so I used Dawn to wash my cats in to kill fleas. I have a video on that also. I'll put a link down in the subject area for that. Water mixed with the Dawn will work. Vinegar mixed with the Dawn works better. I've had people comment that they've used another brand of dishwashing liquid and it worked. I've had people comment that they've used another brand but Dawn worked better. So it's all trial and experiment for you. The active ingredient here is boric acid. And boric acid is boron, and it's the same thing as in this. And it's a naturally occurring element in the ground somewhere, and they claim it's organic and non-toxic, and then your food contains some boron, and so it's all science, and I'm not a scientist. And a really good ant bait that works, and it's boron mixed with sugar, and right here, flour, powdered sugar is in this. You would find it as boric acid, you know, or this one claims to be multiple bugs that it kills. People have asked about, or said, diatomaceous earth and Southern dust. I've had both all over my floors, and it's not easy to run around with, you know, powder all over your legs and feet, and then you have to vacuum it up and then put it down again, and it nowhere near kills the fleas as fast as this does. And I don't have this stuff all over my feet and legs like I do with the diatomaceous earth and the Southern dust. I've used professional bug sprays, and professional bug spray companies cost a fortune. And I do know that you need to vacuum and vacuum and vacuum. If you have carpets, it's harder to get rid of them. Rugs, it's not quite as hard, but I sprinkle salt around, and the salt will make the eggs, if they lay eggs, dry up. So that way you don't have another infestation later on in the year. Because as soon as the weather warms up and humidity comes up, the eggs will start hatching. So I've never had the eggs hatch in my house because I use the salt sprinkled around. And it doesn't do any good just to sprinkle the stuff in the corners. You have to put it in the couch, and, you know, the floor, and the rugs. You know, sprinkle the salt in it everywhere. And then vacuum it up a couple days later, or every day when you've got the fleas active. You know, salt and reapply. But I know it's a lot of work, but it's a lot less work than being bit to death. Or it's a lot less painful than being bit to death. And to me, this is the most comfortable way of doing it, because I've only got maybe 1 or 2 flea bites where having the diatomaceous earth or Southern dust, I still got hundreds of flea bites. But thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, please post them in the comments.